What's up, everybody? I'm Jeremy. You guys are watching Warfels Morse. Thanks for tuning in this week, guys. We have Adam from Proper Royal sitting backstage, so let's bring him up and let's get this stream started. What's going on, Adam? Thanks for tuning in, brother. Thanks for
Jeremy,
being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me, man. I'm happy to see all that you got going on. You just cracked 500 subscribers, brother. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. I think I'm addicted to keeping track of the count. I check it a couple times a day just to see if I got my average a couple subs per day.
I still do it, and it doesn't really mean anything, but it also is a little bit of fuel in the tank, man.
It is.
Yeah, I believe that what you track is going to get better, and so if you track your subscribers, you're going to figure out how to attract more, man. I promise you. So you're doing great. I'm happy for you.
So I know you got. It's tonight's feed night for you, so we want to see some eye candy. I'm sure everybody wants to see the eye candy. So show us since you got these new additions to your collection, show us some of these awesome new additions.
Yeah, man. Thank you. I will. And for those of your audience that haven't met me before, I do a ball python sort of business family hobby channel, and right now is a really big time because this is the unveiling of the new rack, man. Nobody's ever seen this rack. It's on your channel before it's on my channel, man. Wait a minute. So anyhow, I'm pretty excited. Did a pretty big business deal with a breeder that is basically moving on. He got a promotion in his job, and they're going to be moving to a new house, and he's into colubrids and geckos. And it just became a space thing. And it's a guy I'd worked with before. So it all made sense to trust the quality and the care of the animals. It was a great deal to finance. I mean, it worked on paper. It worked because it's the right guy with the right relationship. And he's got some cool snakes. So a lot of them are hets, but they're in there. I'll tell you about them, and then I'll show you some really, really cool animals too. So
awesome. Let me get you up on the big screen here. I've just learned how to do this, so this is tricky stuff for me. I'm proud of myself for learning this.
That's how you got to do it, though. You just got to start, and then you're going to learn, right?
Exactly.
What you guys can't see on camera is right here is another a hatchling and grow out rack that also is included in the deal. So there's a lot of all the 21 hatchlings are still in here. And I'm working through some of my stocks. So some of the things that I bought are going to replace some of the animals that I've had from a breeding standpoint. So eventually these will all move into here. But for right now, I got some in here. So part of the cool deal was that I've got 3 and 3 double het Ultramel clowns. Now, I don't need 3 and 3. I'm going to keep all 3 of the females, and I'm going to keep 2 of the males. So I'll have 1 male up to discuss here before too long as well. I want to make sure they're happy and got through the transition. But again, it's somebody I knew personally. I bought animals from him before, know his family, that kind of thing. So it's pretty cool. But they're just double hets. So, I mean, they're beautiful, but we don't need to take up screen time with them. Like everybody, I love clowns. I'm a clown junkie. I love Enchi. You got to have Enchi in everything, right? I think that's what Gershon says, to steal from him. So I got 4 hatchling visual clowns, 2 males, 2 females. That's a lie. 1 male, 3 females, 3 female visual clown hatchlings in the deal. So let's check out some of them because these are just little stunners right here. Oh, and they're all Enchi. These are all Enchi clowns. And all right, camera is focusing this. I love this one. It's got like a mustache on. Look at that handlebar mustache.
I was just gonna say, I love that thing's the face on it. It's awesome looking. Because I just picked up an Enchi clown female I guess 2021. But yeah, it does. It definitely doesn't have that little mustache yours has going on. That's awesome looking, dude.
And this one, I don't know if it'll show. It's got the Mickey Mouse head stamp, like the 3 circles, man. Not that I'm a big Disney guy, but if anybody is, well, this one's not for sale, so you can just enjoy it. I'll put it on Instagram one day. But I love how clean it is. Look how gold the golds are and how clean the pattern is.
And so yours is exactly like mine too. There's not really, it drips down a little bit, but not a whole lot. That's really nice looking at him. I like that.
Yeah, I'm real happy with that one. Thank you. And that one's a female. The male is in shed. The other female, easy girl. Ooh, okay. Pretty close to the same story. She's not quite as vibrant yellow gold, but that could be maybe the other one just shed, or maybe this one's going into shed, or maybe it's been, in the cocoa or whatever. So that's also a clown Enchi. And then this one, the gentleman that I bought these animals from, he hit the super on this one. This is a super Enchi. You can see the back there, even more reduced.
Yeah. And it's got the mustache too.
It does. Yeah, it's got the mustache. And then look at the head once the camera focuses, if it will.
Don't you love it when technology does not work with you?
I know. I got this high-powered camera that I think if it's close by my face.
So you're coming in crystal clear. It's just
it tracks my eyeballs is what it does. So maybe my eye, there it is. I get my eyeballs on the screen, and then it doesn't know what to do. I was trying to show the head stamp on this thing. So so you see it really just is even more reduced of a head stamp behind the eyes. I like to say I'll put some pictures up on Instagram. But so super Enchi clown here. This girl's going to be a big part of my future. She's holding on for dear life. Let me get her back and situated.
Those are beautiful, Adam. Absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you. I'm really happy to have those, and I've got some clowns, but clown's still pretty new to me. I've got a lot of het stuff working. I got a male breeder, but as far as females or other genes going, it's still fairly new. So those are super exciting. And then, like I say, to have the Ultramel clown hets in there is pretty cool too. So let's see. Visually, this one's a pretty cool heavy hitter pickup.
Now, here's a dumb question while you're pulling that out. Your labels on your rack, are they magnetic labels or are they just stuck on there?
You know what they are is this little blue stuff from like elementary school, the ticky-tack stuff that you could buy. Yeah. And I just put a little dot on there. And then what happens when I want to clean the tub, I keep a few empties up top that are clean and ready to go. Mm-hmm. I just slide those out, pull the label off, slap it on the next one, and then I can go wash all at the same time. So instead of washing, putting back, checking, washing, putting back, I can just check, wash all at once. And my sink is out that way.
Awesome.
And then they make these little index cards with or the little plastic index card holders.
Yeah.
So I just pull that thing off. Yeah. So this is a pinstripe Ultramel female. And she's at 1,400 grams. Easy, girl. I'm going to see if I can get her to eat tonight. If she'll take a medium rat tonight, I probably in the next 2 weeks might just give her a shot at pairing and see what's up with her.
You said she's at what, 1,400?
Yeah, she's at 1,400.
Dude, if she takes and eats for you, man, I'd
what I'm thinking.
A shot. I mean, do you know how old she is?
Yep, she is. She's in September of 19, so she's she's coming up right at 2.5. Not coming up. She's just past 2.5 years old.
I'd give her a shot at it. I mean, you figure my killer bee that went for me, she was 3 years old, and she was at that 1,400 gram mark, maybe a touch over. She gave me that nice clutch of eggs, and they were huge eggs too. Yeah, Mark just had one over at 403 Fauna that turned like on its second birthday, laid the eggs, like not even was pairing. Like he let it rip with her, So, part of it's just making sure I know what I want to pair her with too. I've got the clown Ultramel double pied or double hets. So I don't know, maybe a pied. I don't know. What do you guys think? A pied Ultramel double het.
I could stack a couple single jeans with like cinnamon or orange dream. And like I say, I've already got the clown double het. So really it would probably be for a male visual 100% double het, it would have to be Pieds, I think, if I was going to do that.
I think that would be a neat combo, Ultramel Pied.
Yeah, I think so. And get the double hets going on it. Manly Moore says, how much more time do you think you'll spend feeding now? Oh, because of the number of snakes I picked up? Quite a lot, but let me show you real quick. So my racks I used to use these hefty, some of them are 28, some of them are 32 quart tubs. But when I used to feed, I used to have to pull the rack all the way out, put it on a table, unlock it, take the lid off, relit it, put it back on, put it back in. So I do have a lot more animals now, and I do feed frozen thawed. However, now I can just boom.
Now, the only thing you'll have to watch is, since there are those gray tubs, my suggestion would be, do you have a hook? Because
yeah, I don't want them coming flying out of there on me.
That's the one thing I love about my clear tubs. I can look in and I can tell you that snake's right there ready and wait.
You know what's funny? One of them just struck behind me. I stepped over here and one of them went boom, boom. I don't know which one it is. All right, well, fine. One of them is thumping, and I don't know who it is. Who's banging around in there? So maybe I'll do some Pied Ultramels. My het Ultramels are not big enough right yet to breed to that Ultramel girl. So maybe I'll produce some double hets for people and for myself. I'll probably keep a one male and two female kind of deal, and then sell them. Sell the rest off. But anyhow, that Ultramel girl is real exciting from those pickups. And then let's see, I'm still a little bit overwhelmed with it all. Let's see how cool these two are right now. Yeah, this girl's fine. This one's real cool. I saw Mark just commented. He's gonna love this.
So Chip wants to know what you're using for substrate.
I'll show in just a second. So this is a blackhead female, and I got a blackhead male, and she's plenty big enough. She's already been paired up and breeding. I'm going to find out if she's off food tonight or not. I believe that she is already, but I'm going to try her out. But she's het genetic stripe. So
there you go, Mark.
Yeah, I'm aiming this year for a super blackhead genetic stripe. Would be this home run slam dunk for me. To the question there, as far as substrate, I'm just using. I just use newspaper, and I use a very little bit of cocoa. I'm at 50-degree or 50% humidity in this room, just in the environment as it is. 80 degrees, 50%. So I use just a bit of cocoa and spray it down when it's in there. It helps a little bit with some odors, and if I'm lucky, they mess on the cocoa. But otherwise, I just use newspaper and a little bit of cocoa. Those tubs have the built-in bowl, which is new to me, and the newspaper doesn't fit around it. So I'm probably going to switch to a commercial kitchen type paper towel and just do 2 strips of paper towel.
Okay.
And kind of go around the bowl. I'm not sure how I feel about the bowl, but I just purchased all this. I'm not in position right now to go buy all new tubs. That's going to take a little while.
Did they throw in the deli cups?
No, that's the other. I've got to go get the pints. Right now I'm using the straight molded bowl just because I have to. But I'm about to go hit up some restaurant buddies for the pint, the 16-ounce pint clear portion cups. So I'll have those this week sometime.
That will change your whole world when it comes to water on water day. Like when it just, you pick it up, toss the water out, slap a new one in there, and fill it up. It
was just being able to slide out and like, because the same thing with the locking and the unlocking, every time I wanted to do water, take it out, unlock it, lift the lid, pour, put it back on, lock, put it away, versus just shoot, pitcher down the line kind of thing. So, so there was 2 of those blackheads, one female, one male. That was the female that I showed you there. As far as a new pickup, this is a really good. This guy's a. I say they're beautiful animals. This is just a clown. This is a male clown. I'll have clown pied double hets this year. He's been paired up with a female pied. So if I didn't make clear, the guy that I bought the snakes from had been pairing them as well. So part of the deal is that I get 6 females that have been bred as well. So we're going to find out real soon kind of how they're doing. So this is a good looking, just straight single gene or single recessive clown, normal nice. Clown. That's he's nice and clean though. His head stamp. It's not a guitar headstock. Worlds colliding there. His head stamp's real cool. My other visual clown is a pastel. So the pastel's head stamp is really washed out. This guy's, well, again, it's not going to know what to do.
There we go.
So he's beautiful, though. He's really clean. I picked up not really worth showing off. Also in the batches, though, there's a visual pied female from 2019. She's beautiful, been paired up. I love Mainly Morse. Do you think you'll buy any more snakes this year? I'm not falling into that trap. Last time I said I was only going to buy 1 snake this year, I went and bought 23. So no, I don't think I will, but we'll see. If a good offer comes around, I'm a sucker for a good deal, so we'll see. This girl's a pied. I know everybody sees pies and familiar with them, but I adore how they look. Their contrast is amazing, especially from the white to the patterns, those blacks on her. And this girl's pretty close to 50-50 white and pattern, whereas my male is probably a 70-30, 30% white. More. I almost thought he had Enchi on him at first. This girl's pattern, I hadn't noticed before. This girl's pattern extends under her head. I'm trying to see if she'll pop up. Might have to put that on Instagram too. It's really neat. The bottom of her neck and bottom and the head is brown and gray.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
One thing I like about pies is the black outline it throws a lot of times where the white meets the pattern.
Yeah, it just gives it a real pop, So she's a good-looking girl, hopefully well on her way to towards ovulation as well. She's been paired. She was paired with that clown I just showed. So there'll be double het clown pieds from her. I got a really big Enchi female from 2016 in the deal. She's looking good, and she's actually the mom of 2 other Enchi females that have the breeders that I already owned. I had bought some of those offspring before. Let's see. You only need 12 ounce. You could save a little. What are we talking about here?
I think Phil's talking about with the deli cups.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm guessing maybe the 12 ounces are the same diameter at the top. But
and even that. Deep. It's funny. Those are all restaurant gear. So yeah, the 8 ounces they're all the same diameter at the top. Just how far down they go. Yeah, I guess the 12 would do better. I have to find it. I'll get some either on Amazon or call up some restaurant friends on that. I hate to say that's about it because there's a lot in here. But as far as what's like I say, kind of eye candy, and I'm also like I say a little bit just overwhelmed trying to keep up with everything that I did get, still getting used to it. I did all my finances today, so I figured out my inventory, my cost of goods, get it all on my inventory sheet. Feeding tonight, I had to get that on my feeding sheet so I could track it. So You know me. Anyway, so females, I'll just run it down real quick. There's a pinstripe, double het, ultra. Oh, yeah. Some of those ultramel clowns were pinstripe as well. I forgot about that. Pinstripe, double het, ultramel clown, Enchi clown, blackhead genetic stripe. There were 3 normal het pieds. They've all been paired. Honestly, I would probably move them along, but they're already paired, so we'll see what this season brings. I should get some quite a lot of pieds. A VPI Xanthic het, and he had a male het, fire VPI Xanthic. So I might hit some fire Xanthics, which would be pretty cool. The Enchi, the Super Enchi.
Nice.
What's that?
I said Xanthic is always so nice.
Yeah, and I have a visual Xanthic, so I'll probably keep that male het unless they hit a visual male, and then I'll keep that visual male. And then figure out what to do as far as what I want to keep and go. The Super Enchi clown, just total stunner of the show. Double het ultramel clown, pinstripe double het, the pied and the ultramel pinstripe. Males, more of the ultramel clown hats. Blackhead. Oh, there's a cool banana Enchi in the mix. That banana Enchi was bred to the big Enchi female, and they were actually locked. It was funny. When I brought them up here, we put them in their own tub together since they were still locked. Shipped them up. It's about a 2-hour drive I did yesterday with them, so they're cool. Another het pied, fire, VPI, that visual male clown, hatchling Enchi clown, and then some more of the double het ultramels. So we'll see. I think there's some really cool building blocks in there. This rack, of course, is a game changer for me, and I finally got the room set up. I worked pretty hard yesterday to get everything done. Obviously, I didn't want to leave them overnight in their snake bags and not in their tubs, you know. So, yeah. So that's the new pickups in there.
Awesome stuff, Adam. Awesome stuff, and I love the rack.
Hey, thank you. I love it too. I feel like I say it just dawned on me. Why am I showing this off somebody else's channel first? I got to get a video out now.
Express it out now.
That's right. No, it's cool, man. Let me see. Yeah, Musical Python says definitely recommend restaurant distributors for deli cups. Yeah, I'm fortunate. I've got a Cisco account. I can not that they'll deliver one sleeve of deli cups to me, but I could tack it on to somebody else's order and swing by and grab it if I need to. So,
well, if you want to switch over to your other studio, that way you can turn the lights off.
Yeah, let's do that. Give me 5. I'll rejoin you, and I'll get these pythons in eating mode for later.
Sounds good, dude.
Okay, thanks. I'll see you in just a few.
All right. All right. So, while Adam does all that stuff, I'm going to go through here and say hello to everybody that is joining us tonight. Jeremy from Snakes for the Memories, thank you for tuning in. Diego of Petsotics, what's up? We have Rob. We have John from Inquiline. We have Jesse from Musical Pythons. Thank you for tuning in, you guys. We've got Phil. What is up, Phil? I'm looking forward to coming out to Gettysburg with you, dude. That is going to be a fun day, just hanging out and everything. We've got Steven and Courtney from Leviathan Snakes. We've got Mark from 403. We've got Mainly Morphs. Thank you for tuning in. We've got Tradesman. Thanks for coming in. We have Crossfire. I don't know if Crossfire's still in here or not. We've got, let's see here, Jordan Leland. Thank you for tuning in. We've got Sandra Mitchell. Thank you for tuning in. We've got Bosa Balls. I'm not going to attempt to butcher your name again, Bosa. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to do it. When you said, I know you said I had it close enough, but close enough just isn't good enough for me. Let's see here. Who else we have? I know we've got Nicole from Lady Tiz Exotics. Thank you for tuning in. We've got Clint. Thank you for stopping in. We've got Blue Ridge Pythons. Thank you for tuning in. We've got Sean G. I believe Sean, I was in Billy's Q&A live with earlier this afternoon. So thanks for tuning in, dude, and thank you for the sub. I really appreciate that. Let's see here. Who else we have? We've got Chip from Regis Sphere of Pythons. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Let's see here. We've got, I'm pretty sure there's more. We've got a lot of people in the chat and everything already. We've got Benjamin. Thank you for tuning in, man. We've got Main Squeeze Reptiles. Thank you for tuning in. Let's see here. Bear with me, everybody. We've got creative genetics. Thanks for stopping by. We got PJ, which is con worker. Thank you for tuning in. We've got, I think we're almost at the end. That's it. I'm all caught up. All right. Awesome. John, I do have your little, your question here started. So when Adam gets back in, we'll have him answer that right off the start. So while we're still waiting on him, thank you for tuning in, everybody. I appreciate all the support. I'll give you guys a brief rundown of what we have coming up as far as guests in the future. Once I find my list, which I thought I had. All right, here we go. All right, next Sunday, we have Kelsey from Kelsey's Constrictors coming on. The 19th, which is actually a Saturday. It's actually the day of the Battlefield show. So that night, I have Sal from Gomez Pythons coming on. So slight switch up, but I had no problem switching it over for Sal. He's an awesome guy. On the 27th of this month, we have Jeff and Angie from Celtic Balls going to be on. On April 3rd, we have Gershon from GP Snakes coming in. On the 10th, on April 10th, we don't have a show. That's my son's birthday. Plus, I'm going out to Monroeville to Steel City Comic Con. So, going to embrace my nerdy side along with meet some, basically almost the whole cast from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I mean, let's face it, that's a hard one to turn down. But after that, though, on the 17th, we have Riley Jimson from Riley's Reptiles. And then on April 24th, I have Chad from Richie's Recessives going to be on. And then May 1st, I have Billy from Mutation Creation going to be on here. On May 8th, I have Ryan from Smitty Serpents going to join us. And then May 15th, I have John Dog of JD Constriction going to be tuning in and joining us. And we're going to definitely talk Exantic stuff that night. That is for sure. So awesome lineup. Basically, I'm only going to be going out till May at this point, and from there we'll, add in stuff. And here is Adam. All right.
Yo, here I am.
Just in time. I just went through the whole spiel of who all is going to be on here for the next 2 months.
Oh, cool.
3 months, I guess, actually.
Yeah, well, hey, thanks for having me. This feels a lot more comfortable to me. We got the sound and the video right. So, yeah. How's everything in Pennsylvania going?
Dude, we hit mid 70s today for temperature.
Oh, cool.
I went out in a t-shirt and pants. I thought I'm overdressed. I almost went in and got short.
Yeah, nice.
It was so nice. And then just to know that later on in the week, we're going back down into the 30s and 40s. It's come on, really?
Yeah.
Had that glimmer of hope. I have one snake I'm waiting to ship out. It's got to go to Wisconsin. So I want to make sure that the temps are probably right around 50 is where I like to, if
right.
temps are going to stay solid in the 50s and above, I'm okay with shipping. So luckily the customer's okay with all that because I want to get this female out, but I just don't want to risk it.
No, and the customer's got to realize that too, that's just got to be part of it,
Yeah. And they're really cool. I left it when we, when they paid and everything, we had both agreed, we'll wait till temperatures are where I feel that they're safe to ship it. So it's cool.
It should always be the way. I mean, it has to be the way, really.
Yeah.
I agree with you there.
Well, John wants to know how many anticipated clutches are you expecting this year?
All right. So, John, first off, John, it's good to see you, man. You've been awesome to me and my channel. It's Always a joy to see you, and I'm glad you're supporting other people out there too. I bred 8 of my females before I got this package over the weekend, and I would bet 5 to 6 of those 8 will go. I got one visual axanthic that looks like she's slimming back down after being pretty big, so maybe she's reabsorbing. And then they're just crazy. So let's say another 1 or 2 don't go. So probably 5 from the group that I had. And then the guy that I bought these from said that 6 of his had been paired.
Okay.
And I haven't spent enough time with them to see what their behaviors are like, what their body's looking like. And then there's that Ultramel that hadn't been paired. And I'm like, do I want to wait a year, miss out on getting something going, and miss out? True. I mean, it's a business. Let's call it what it is. Miss out on some revenue. So I do like to breed with what I'm going to use, though. I got to say, I mean, I know it's a business, but I try not to breed just for revenue. So I try and make sure that I'm going to be interested in something that I'm producing. So I got to think about that for a day or two. I'm going to give her a week to settle in, see if she eats tonight, maybe see if she starts that really crazy feed behavior, then I might just give it a shot,
that like I said, my killer bee females, she was feeding really heavy, last season, and she was at that a little over 1,400 grams. I thought, all right, the way she's feeding till she goes and actually, till she actually gets off food, she'll be over 15.
Yeah.
And shortly after I started pairing her, she just shut off right then and there. It's like, you got to be kidding.
Oh, no.
Me.
Okay.
But I wasn't with that. I thought it's like, you're old enough. I just thought maybe she's a small female. I've heard of, you pair them, and sometimes if they go or not, that might jumpstart their feeding again and get them, because she used to be a really good heavy hitter with food.
Yeah.
And then she became picky to the point where if that rat had like a little dot of black on it anywhere, she would eat it.
Yeah.
I even tried, like, the one night I fed her, went to feed her. She struck it, she coiled it. Right before start, she started to eat it. She saw that it had like a black spot at its back end. She left it sit.
That's crazy.
It's like, you got to be kidding me. So I did an experiment. I went and got an all white rat, made the dead rat dance, and she nailed it. She ate it. And I was just like, what the heck?
Wow.
So it came into a thing where I had to go to my rack. I'm like, dude, I need all white rats. It's like, I need a bag of all white. He goes, why? I was like, because I got one that will not eat anything but.
Right. Now the other big challenge now is the guy I bought him from. He actually had a rat operation too that he wanted to include in the deal. And I have discovered from a couple recent facility tours, I'm wildly allergic to rats, on top of not wanting to breed them in the first place. But for anybody that buys a used rack, I'm experiencing, even just being in the room just then, like I can feel it on my, I've got to get, I wiped it all down and I sprayed everything down with chlorhexidine and all of that, but it's that dander and the dust from those rats is still in the air. So I'm going to have to get in there and do some kind of dirty work for myself. It's not dirty, but you know what I mean? For my own reaction to it. And so that's one thing to keep in mind. And I wouldn't have not bought it. I probably would have just, I don't know, to be honest, I might have just strapped it to the truck and gone through a drive-through, car wash or something with it. It needs a good, and if you took, and I'm actually not joking, if you took off the heat panels of those ARS racks, you could do something like that with them.
Yeah, you could. You really could.
Yeah. I was, one of your guests, Musical Pythons, they're here in Florida. They sound up my alley. Like I'm a guitar and Python guy. I was wondering where they were at, and anyhow, they send me a note on Instagram or comment on my channel or something like that. I'll catch up with you, Musical Pythons.
Yeah, Jesse's really cool dude. He was an awesome guest. Awesome guest.
Oh, cool.
Want to say what's up to Jaffe? Thanks for tuning in, brother. All right, now I got a list of stuff that we're gonna try to work through here tonight.
Let's do it.
All right, now it's kind of. I don't want to say the routine question, but what got you into snakes and snake breeding?
All right. So it's not the typical. I mean, I did play in the woods a lot. I always loved animals. I loved a lot of animals. I was definitely an outdoorsman growing up, fishing and all of that. But in college, and I always liked snakes, but I was never allowed to have a pet. No pets. No, there will not be animals in the house. Hell, there was no video games in the house. We didn't have cable TV. Man, school was the focus kind of deal. So I get to college and I actually started with fish. I bought a big, I was at a buddy's house and he had an arowana, and it was like, that was the coolest thing. I was like, you can own that? Like, this is like something I see on nature. And so then I go to the store, and this is in Gainesville, Florida, at the University of Florida. And across the street, it was like this old, like, cinder block building, and it was just paint. It just had big print, like it just said like reptiles. It looked like something from like the 1960s leftover, you know? And I walk in, and it's a small building. I'm looking around my room. I'm in a 20 by 20 garage. It was probably 3 of these, and just wall to wall, just racks, deli cups, just snakes everywhere. And I was like, this is cool. So I got a corn snake. I had some ball pythons. I had some leopard geckos. I had an arowana. And then, you know, life goes on. I leave college, and I think I ended up selling. You know, in those days, there wasn't a YouTube or even really online forums. There wasn't like local communities for sure. This would have been in 2001, 2002. So sell it back to the pet shop, skip town, get out of town. And then happened to be not so much tied to the pandemic. We got my son a bearded dragon for Christmas. He decided he wanted a bearded dragon. And at that point, we were back into fish. We had like 400 gallons of cichlid tanks around the house. Yeah, we had fish everywhere. Cichlids are just gorgeous. These freshwater, beautiful fish. And I don't want to go down a rabbit hole with cichlids. We're here to talk about snakes. But anyway, there's several different varieties from different locations that go in certain tanks. So you couldn't have one without another and killing each other. And so we got the bearded dragon because my son wanted it. And right about that time, we got really tired and exhausted of cleaning fish like crazy. And at the same time, I got kind of jealous of my son's bearded dragon. I was like, man, I used to have a ball python. Let me see what's going on. Let me Google ball pythons. And Morph Market came up, and my mind was blown. Yeah, Kai likes fish, and they're delicious. He also likes sweet, high-dollar fish. Kai's not messing around with his fish. So I'm on Morph Market, and like 2020, 2021, albino ball pythons and pieds are, you know, going for $50,000 and unattainable. And there I see them for like, I mean, they're not cheap, but reasonably priced. And then I see this thing called a banana, and I'm like, $150 for that? I'm on it. I was like, I told him, I was like, Kelly, I'm going to get a ball python. She's like, look, and I was so funny. She goes, all I'm telling you is I'm not taking care of another animal. All these fish, we got dogs, we got a bearded dragon. That's on you. And I was like, all right. So I continue looking at Morph Market, and I see blue-eyed leucisticus. I'm like, what is this? These are gorgeous. So I buy a blue-eyed leucistic.
I'm hoping to hit those this year.
What's that?
I'm hoping to hit those.
Oh, what do you got for a pairing, man?
It's GHI Mojave male that gave me that awesome banana clutch last season.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I remember
that. GHI Mojave male, and he's paired to our lesser girl this year. So, in theory, from what I've been told anyway, lesser and GHI make some of the most pure white bells. So, hopefully.
Lesser Mojaves, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, those are like the perfectly white Mojave to Mojave, a little purple head kind of deal. So I had one of those, and then it just started snowballing from there. Pandemic hit, and I was probably not in a very healthy mental place with work and in restaurants. Sorry, my bug zapper's doing its job. But also, I wanted to start a YouTube channel mostly to learn. And I thought there was a gap of a place I could fill from sort of I tend to be a little more analytic on my channel. And I don't mean that like other people should be. I just mean it as in I didn't see that happening a whole lot from a business standpoint. So I just thought it'd be good to give it a shot. And I thought I could utilize the knowledge of how to navigate social media marketing and interaction in my career as well. And that's how it all started. That's a long-winded version of how I got going. And I'm on my second breeding season now. And currently my stock, like actual stock in there right now, is 50 snakes. I want to get that down to about 40 and then get the balance right. I just bought somebody's collection. And when you do that, you kind of take
all balance.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I hear you on that. Mainly asks, will y'all be at Tinley? I know I can't make Tinley. I would at some point. I want to go to a big show, but I just cannot swing that one at the moment.
No, I won't be. I'm in just outside of Jacksonville, Florida. So I'll be down at Daytona, and I think there's a fall Tinley. There is a chance I'll be at the fall Tinley if I've had a great season and. Let's just call it what it is. If cash flow looks like it's going to work in my favor and I can afford it, I'll go to Tinley. And I wouldn't mind trying to vend with somebody else. I wouldn't vend my own stuff or pay for a table, but I'd love to get the experience of it. So there's a few breeders I've talked to that have said, yeah, if I go up to Tinley and you want to jump in the van and help drive and vend, I'm like, yeah, man, what better experience to get, So maybe the fall one, but not the spring one.
That did not work out. I got a nasty glare on my.
Oh, right in the middle, huh?
Yeah. Hold on here 1 second. Let me try something.
Just pretend it's a lightsaber, dude. You're like you're.
Oh. There we go. I fixed it.
There you go. You got it.
There you go. All right. I'm not gonna touch anything else. I'm sorry, everybody. that one little glare was bugging me, and that just made it worse. You're right, Adam. I could have pretended it was a lightsaber, though.
And let's not go down that rabbit hole because that's all I know about Star Wars. You will be highly disappointed in my knowledge or lack thereof.
I won't hold it against you. Against you. All right, let's see here. We got a few more people that hopped in. We got Melinda from Cuddle Time Critters that hopped in. Thank you for tuning in, Melinda. And we got Hales Balls. Thank you for tuning in. And I think and we got Kai from, Lucas Landon Royals coming in with his fish. So thank you, Kai, for tuning in. Kai was our guest on last week's show. So if you missed that, make sure you guys check it out because it was by far the longest live I've ever done. we were like 10 minutes. I don't even think 10 minutes. It's like 5 minutes short of 3 hours.
Oh, geez. Yeah, that's going. I got it for the record. I don't know how long I'm going tonight, but I can't go 3 hours. No, we can't do that.
Well, Kai says I can't allow anybody to come close to his the record, so you're safe.
Yeah, you're safe tonight, man.
He told me at the end of the show, he goes, you have to make sure that stays the record. All right, so I know you were showing off some of the recessives and stuff. So let's talk about your recessives and the direction you're going to take them, like what your long-term plans as far as what you're hoping to do with them all.
All right. So I thought a lot about this because we should think a lot about it. These are animals and investments, and you get one shot each year to do the best that you can. I'll never say not to screw it up because you can always adapt and change. This is me, not everybody else, but this is me. I am treating this like a business because I want it to be my business. I don't want it to just be a hobby. Yep. I still want to love it, and I don't want it to overtake. I don't want the business part to outweigh the hobby part. But the fact is, plenty of people have spent far more than I have. But for me and my money and my livelihood and my lifestyle, I have spent a hell of a lot of money on this with the intention of making it a business. So with that in mind, I'll tell you a story that you're going to wonder what the hell it has to do with ball pythons. I did a winemaking internship in Napa one year, and I'm out there and I'm receiving barrels, and the barrel maker, he's unloading them, checking them in with the winemaker, and I'm just a curious guy. I'm a restaurant guy. I was doing the Napa thing. I used my vacation time to go work in Napa, and I pulled the guy aside and I said, "Hey, obviously you love wine. You're importing barrels. Do you ever get into wine, or do you have a side project of making your own?" And he says to me, he goes, "I love wine barrels because I don't ever have to worry about the weather, if the vintage is good, if my grapes grow." He goes, all I got to do is drop off barrels. He goes, "I want to leave that stuff to other people." So with my recessive projects, first, I love them. I don't have that many. I use this term non-recessive, dom, codom, incomplete dom, however we want to have that argument to call it. I don't have that many dominant traits in my collection. I love the recessives. I love the lavenders, the candies are just incredible. Pieds I'm still amazed by. Clowns and what can be done with those are amazing. And people are doing amazing stuff. Like, I'll probably never catch up on the Batman project. It's just amazing. It's phenomenal, but I can't go chasing that down. From a business stance, that'd be like me having a corner store going, "Well, I'm just going to catch Walmart one day." I'm not. It's not going to happen that way. But to the hobbyist, what if I could be the guy that supplies your base recessives or your base double recessives or visual and het recessive? And kind of like that barrel maker, I don't have to worry about if I hit 5 stacked DOMs to make something phenomenal that I've been dreaming of. Now, I might do that on my own for my own side project kind of thing. But as far as the business goes, I've kind of set up to become a building blocks foundational kind of guy for recessive projects. You hit one set of or you hit one set of hets, but you need a visual or a double visual to just fire something along and really get you to that next level. I think I can be that guy. And that's kind of what I've set myself up for to try and accomplish. Now, I want to hit some of the, that blackhead project I was really excited about. I think blackheads with candy and lavenders are going to be phenomenal. Throw that in with a double recessive genetic stripe, like a genetic stripe lavender blackhead. The thing's going to be just booming purple,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's funny thing, since you said about the Batman thing, that's one of my end goals is I want to produce the Exantic Desert Ghost Batman. I think that thing would just be out of this world.
Yeah.
Or at least even an Exantic Batman. I'll even sell just for the Exantic Batman.
That would be incredible. Yeah.
I think that would just look stunning.
And I think all this will change too, because part of it is that you look in the lane that you're in. So if I didn't have many codominants, all right, this makes sense to be a good lane I'm in. Now I just pick up a couple and I'm like, dang, I'm going to work fire into Axanthics. That's going to make the contrast even that much more incredible of the silver and the black. Yep. So now I'm like, well, okay, I'm going to focus on fire Axanthics. So I can see myself, this will evolve. It will grow. And part of business, again, I always go back to restaurants, but I mean, even in the pandemic, we couldn't get chicken wings. All right, you got to pivot. What else can you sell? We found these pork rib things that we sold in place of chicken wing. Like, you deal with what you have and you make the best of it,
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. And plus, on top of it, like you did you got all those pickups, and as time goes on, I'm sure you're going to be doing it again, or things will kind of drop into your lap, and you're going to take that opportunity to go with it, and it's going to change the direction you slightly go as well. And you just got to go with it and roll with the punches and use it to your advantage at the same time.
I had one model that up until 10 days ago, when the phone call came about buying this, I had my plan and my track for this year, but it changed around, And you got, and what's the old preparation versus, or success equals preparation versus opportunity. Like, I prepared for that moment. I did the hard work learning, how am I going to clean all these things? Those of y'all that don't know, I have a really nice sink. I'm not the best at a whole lot in the hobby, but my sink is pretty high on the list,
That sink, I'm jealous of the sink. I need a sink like that.
Everybody's gonna be like, "Is he the sink? He's the sink guy."
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you remember my buddy Spath that I had on here, and he commented about your lighting in the background and everything.
Yeah, yep.
To this day, when I bring you up or where he goes, is that the guy that has the really awesome lighting in the background? I'm like, yeah, it's the guy with the awesome lighting in the background.
You know what's so funny is my front light here is it's I don't know if you can hear it clinking. It just hangs there. Like aiming, I have to aim myself to the light because you ain't gonna adjust that thing. It's on. I gotta buy a new one. It's on. It's just a broken down junk.
Forgot to do one thing here. 1 second.
Yeah.
Forgot to turn the Wi-Fi off on my phone. I try not to stress the Wi-Fi, especially
I gotcha.
The router's up on the second floor and the snake room's down in the basement. So I try to let
you talk about stuff that like you got to adapt to and figure out along the way, you know.
Kai says you're the sink king.
I'll be the sink king. That's it. Kids, in my second year, I became the sink king. You too can have these dreams if you follow them and work hard. You too can have a monstrous stainless steel sink.
But I mean, it's got to make cleaning tubs so much easier. I mean, it's got to be.
I don't know how I flipped out. So yesterday, you saw the new rack. So I took every snake out of my existing tubs. Every tub that came into my facility got scrubbed, washed, sprayed down, and sanitized top to bottom. The rack got sanitized top to bottom. And then all the snakes got put in. And that ended last night. And then today, the tubs that I took everything out of and the racks all got completely washed and all completely sanitized and scrubbed. And I got that done in one afternoon and one morning. So, I mean, it was probably 8 hours total of work. But you think about
it's still a lot of work, though. I mean,
without
that sink, it would have been a lot longer than that.
Oh, without that sink and a bucket or my spray the ways I was cleaning up until a month and a half ago, it would have been just madness.
Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely agree.
Those of y'all that have space for a sink, make friends at a restaurant. Restaurateurs never throw anything out, and it's stainless steel. It's good commercial grade. I bet you find sinks on back docks all over. I was working for a golf club. They flew me out to Scottsdale to help out there, and the GM comes to me. He goes, Adam, I don't care what you do here, but can you find somebody to get rid of all this crap back here? And it was reach in fridges, it was sinks, and I just called a scrapyard, and the guy was like, "Be right there. I'll be right there."
Oh yeah. That's like my buddy Mike when he said about the Coke fridge that I turned in my incubator. He goes, "Hey, you need an incubator, don't you?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, I got this Coke fridge. I'll be right there. Don't worry about it."
Yep,
He's going to give it to his brother to scrap it for scrap metal.
Yeah.
And to this day, I mean, his brother's one of my best friends too. I told him to this day, he goes, "Yeah, man, you took my scrap metal." I was like, "Yeah, well, you saved me several hundreds of dollars."
And I've got to get cracking on a new incubator because the one I have is one of the counter wine coolers that didn't work. I found one of those on Craigslist or wherever. But yeah, I'm like hitting up all my restaurant buddies. I'm like, I know you guys got fridges that don't work sitting on your back dock, you know? Let's see. So there's a couple questions. Creative Genetics says, how many snakes do you have now? I have 50 here, and I actually have 2 more down with Jeremy Bod at Bod's Exotic Reptiles that I just didn't have space for. But we worked out a deal. So I've got, he's keeping a hold of them, but I've got 2 pieds with him.
Nice.
And then Kai says, is there a commercial grade dishwasher that can clean large tubs? Yes, but you would need a steam vent out of your house because they're the pass-through ones. So you'd have to get you could even do one that lifts up and then you bring down. But I'd say for large tubs, the conveyor is what I'm talking about. Get a conveyor loader one. I don't know where you find one of those, but yeah, they exist. Or what would be really crazy is say we had like an enterprise scale, like we were Wilbanks kind of operation, like a commercial kitchen dish pit, you have to have it. I mean, and what's crazy right now is that I'm seeing in restaurants is the overhead, the labor for service, blah, 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 all the challenges that we know of going on with the pandemic and now this whole labor revolution and however we want to see it, is restaurant owners are renting out their kitchens for banquet prep space. Like they're not even running their restaurants anymore. A company I work for, we have 3 restaurants. I used to run all 3. And now one of them they rent out. Like, I wonder if you could just rent commercial dish space if it was near enough to your house to make it worthwhile. You know, like say if you had a like a enterprise scale snake operation.
Yeah, that'd be. I was responding to Mainly's question here while you were doing that. They asked what brand of rack, and I told him ARS. And I screwed up their names. Then I had to fix my screw up.
Gotcha.
I hate typos. I'm not the greatest with the keyboard. So I gotta watch the fingers, and it's just a disaster.
Yeah, tradesman's here in Jacksonville with me. He says, yeah, you're looking at a $40,000 machine right there. Yeah, he's exactly right. No restaurants own their conveyor dishwashers. They rent them and they lease them. You sign a 2-3 year lease for your conveyor dishwasher. Although, you know, our lease, I don't even know if I'm supposed to say this, from Ecolab is the company we lease ours from. The big conveyor one is like $290 a month. If you had a big enough operation and you had a steam vent, that actually
might be beneficial. I mean, they have all the time. Like you just plop. I would assume you just plop them in there and let it do its thing, and you can go do something else. So.
Well, and you could have. Well, I mean, you got to put them in and unload them, but you could probably save one person's labor. So, I mean, if you paid a helper $300 a month. Or you could get this dish machine installed and maintained by Ecolab. I don't know. Maybe that. Then you got to have the facility to handle it. I mean, I mean, you're talking steam everywhere, man. It's like a laundry in there. It's yeah. Anyway.
All right. How's your current breeding season going? Like, as far as how many girls do you have building follicles? Do you palpate? Because you don't have an ultrasound yet, right?
I don't have an ultrasound. And here's something I always want to make sure that everybody understands. My channel is about my journey of learning and understanding. So I don't have an ultrasound. I don't really palpate. Look, come October 15th, I start pairing them, and I'll pair them until they go off food or they get big and then go back down to little, kind of thing.
Okay, gotcha.
But from an analytical standpoint, this year's kind of a really test base. If I've got 8 of my own that I've been breeding on that program and only 3 or 4 of them go, I know I'm doing something wrong. That probably means I need to learn about an ultrasound or go study more, learn from find some more mentorship. So, I mean, I think it's going well. I got a whole bunch of locks. Like they're working, they're doing the deeds and putting in the work. But I might have had one ovulate so far. But otherwise it's too early for most of the others because the others are proven breeders. So I know when they laid last year, it's just too early right now. In the next 6 weeks, I'll have a whole lot more.
Yeah. I know for me, my girl, like my first 2 clutches came in May. Yeah, May. And those 2 girls now, the one, like I palpated them actually this evening here, and the one has follicles roughly around the size of like really small marble. So between the size of a pea and a small, marble.
Yeah.
And the other, my banana girl, she's got follicles probably right around that small marble state. So I don't even know how many millimeters that would be, so to speak.
Right.
I do have a list on that gives me, the rough measurements of all that stuff, but I always try to use things that people might have played with or seen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But then my Pewter Leopard girl, she's locked up right now with my Bumblebee Clown, so I don't know where she's at. I know she did have follicles growing. I just forget what size they were. But my lesser girl, she's on this growing spree because like I'm gonna say probably a week, maybe a week and a half ago, she had follicles about the size of a nickel. Actually,
Yeah.
I think I was talking to Phil about this too. And I palpated her today, and she's right around like quarter size. So she is like hauling through those follicles. So
Yeah.
hopefully, I'm hoping within like a month I get an ovulation at the
Right.
rate that she's going because she reabsorbed on me last year.
Yeah. My
So,
biggest girl, I mean, she's like almost 3,000 grams. Like, this is a big girl. She took last year off, but I knew she had laid the prior 3 years from the breeder that I bought her from. She might have ovulated already. She's just huge and bulky and kind of laying in a, just we'll see. She's done with the cool seeking. I'm going to see if she eats tonight. I kind of don't expect her to, but I'm going to definitely feed. Like, she's an aggressive eater. If she wants to eat, she'll eat, kind of thing. And she's in shed right now, so I'll know. Like I say, things will start to pick up in the next 6 weeks. I'll have a real clear idea of what my year could look like. Next thing will be, is it, are they slow or are they healthy? Yeah, exactly. What's going to come of it.
Yeah, no, like because I was worried that I was slightly worried that the Xanthic girl and the Banana girl weren't going to go, just because I wasn't like I'm going through palpating everybody. It's like, okay, I feel them on this one, I feel them on this one. It's like, yeah, I don't know if I feel it on you, and I really didn't know if I felt it on the Banana. But it seems like they must have kicked it into high gear here recently or something, because now it's like, okay, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that. It's like it wasn't there before.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, it can't be anything else other than follicles as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. I've got not from a palpating standpoint, but I've got a leopard het pied that's that way. I was like, I don't know. It doesn't look like she's not really changing. And then like in a 2-week time frame, she bulked up, rounded out. I mean, just visibly and physically, she is a different animal right now. So yeah, we'll see. I'm optimistic. I haven't. There's only one that I'm kind of like, looks like the time's passed, because she was bulking up really, really early, and now she's looking a whole lot more lean.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you end up with an amazing season, because last season I think you kind of got you got slightly shafted because of the move.
Yeah, could be. It was my first time out. It could be. I don't know. It seemed awful at the time, and now I look back, I'm like, man, I learned so much on paper. I posted a loss on paper from a profitability standpoint, but the value of my collection increased. The value of my knowledge increased. I learned a ton on YouTube. I sold half my inventory on YouTube, so that made it was a big year of proof of concept for me, where I was like, I wasn't like, well, I really sucked last year, let me go buy this collection now. It was like, oh, I'm learning. I'm feeling a whole lot better. I'm feeling like I can bob and weave, so we'll see on that. Yeah, Chris says that may have been her post-ovulation shed. I'm hoping, I'm sorry, she hasn't shed yet, but she's in shed right now. So yeah, there's 2 or 3 that I was keeping an eye on, where I was like, all right, the next time they shed, I'm firing up the incubator just to stay safe, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And this is a really opportune time. Chris Shelley will be my guest on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on my channel from B&S Reptilia. And Chris and I have been doing some business behind the scenes that we're going to unveil a little bit of, and not talk too specifically, because some of the business is pretty individual or specific to each other. But we're going to talk about that on this show coming up. Plus, he's got a whole bunch of cool stuff. 200 animals we could talk through.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in his collection. So I'm really looking forward to having him on at 8 p.m. So, Chris, good to see you here. I'll see you on Tuesday night, brother.
I say thanks for stopping in, Chris. It means a lot, and I'm sure Adam greatly appreciates the support as well as I do, too. So thank you. All right, now here, how do you pick your pairings, Adam? What's your mindset like when you're going through deciding which male you're actually going to throw into the girls?
So, sorry, Kai was giving me a tongue in cheek, a little bit of hard time here, but he's right. No, one of the other, no, yeah, and he's right, and I'm most grateful. There's an incredible community that what to do. I missed on a bunch last year, but he's right, man. The friends in the community, the support in the community, the knowledge that I get, like I'm getting a master's class from these guests that come on my show. Chris has been at this since 2013 with 200 animals. You talk about an enterprise level business, like, and he's going to come on my show. I'm just going to learn for an hour or two or however long we hang out, So, so the pairings, obviously you look at what ingredients you have to work with, as in the snakes and what resources are there. Then I look at, again, from the business standpoint, not necessarily what I think is going to drive the highest revenue, because we've all seen market swings but from what I could produce the highest quality of, and then I kind of rank things. So obviously recessives are probably visuals are probably more valuable than hets.
Yep.
And then for no specific reason other than what people like and dislike, Ghost seems to be on the bottom of the recessive totem pole with albino, although albino pieds are still hugely popular. Ghost pieds are pretty popular.
I think Ghost is going to pop up, though. Like, I'm not in the Ghost project, but I don't know. I got a feeling that that's going to pop up out of nowhere. And anybody
I think it comes around too. Like, I've heard so many people say, "Oh, they're over pieds and all that." Jeremy Baud brought up a great point the other night. He's like, you know what? The single most singular, no competition morph that gets new people intrigued is pied. That is the jaw dropper, the showstopper for the new eyes, for expanding the hobby. And like every new dominant or recessive that's discovered, like the first thing people go after are pied combos with it. So I like pieds. I'm a guy where my risk tolerance is fairly low when it comes to business. So I want tried and true. I was talking him through this with Steven from Leviathan Snakes one episode not long ago. I'm probably not going to be the guy trailblazing new things, but I'm pretty excited about producing some tried and true or combos with those tried and trues. I own a pair of triple hets. Like,
that's right. You got those at the beginning of the year.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I made some moves this year. I didn't think I was making this move, but so to go back to how I choose the pairing, part of it is just what I think will be cool. Part of it is what I see a demand for. And part of it's where kind of had the momentum. Like right now, I love clown. It wasn't exactly what I got into the hobby for, but that's where I've got the most momentum and tailwind right now is those visual entries I showed off earlier. I had a male clown stud for the past 2 seasons. So if I want to build recessives, I'm going to use the visual stud. So that's kind of how I start at it. I want to get to a point where my first goal is to get to a point where I have but I'll say no. I'll clarify in a minute. I want to get to a point where I have no possible hets. Mm-hmm. I'll always have possible hets, but I want those to be secondary to a 100% het something. If it's a possible, I at least want it on top of a 100% het. And then I want to get to where I'm producing that I know are not guaranteed, but very high likelihood of visuals. I guess I would like to breed without hets in the mix, but then you can't advance and grow either. So then it's paying bills versus advancing the hobby and the projects. So I try to balance all of those things, but I do keep the numbers are important to me. Like if I want this to be my business, I've got to treat it like a business.
I agree. I know, like with my granted, in the beginning, I'm starting out with working a whole bunch of hets, making a whole bunch of hets. Yeah. But I know for the future, like a lot of my stuff, I'm trying to get it lined up so that in a couple of years here, it'll be either visuals with 100% het, something whatever it may be, or I'm trying, like you said, I'm trying to avoid that 50% het stuff to where it's either going to be all visuals or a visual with 100% het.
Yeah, and some of it's just the time equation. Recessives are cool, but man, I'm 42 already. I mean, some of these projects are 25, 30-year projects, or
Yep.
I got to jump ahead and buy, which I'm not above either if it's a smart investment. And so all that goes into it. So it's got to work on paper, and then I got to go put in the work to make it come to life and hope that Mother Nature works with me too, So that's the best I can give, I guess, of my pairing methodology or systems.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. All right. Well, we went over your new pickups and your new addition to the facility.
Yeah, thank you.
Are you thinking about getting those clear tubs for your rack, or are you going to stay with the gray, or what are your thoughts on that one?
I am. I liked your point. You said it earlier in the show, but you said it on one of your other episodes, is on your like tanks versus tub episode. That's what it was, your tanks versus tub, which was a killer thumbnail, dude. You're experimenting, you're trying new things. Like that's how we learn and go, dude. It was very cool.
Thank you. I'll admit, like, for whatever reason, when I came up with the title, tanks versus tubs, or however I had it, for some reason, Mortal Kombat came in my head.
Yeah.
And like the fighting stance that they always showed before you actually got to where you could actually fight, I just kind of thought, well, why don't we just do like a mock-up of that and see how it looks? And I did, and I thought, okay, that works. We'll stick with that. It might catch the eyes.
I'll be really honest with you. I wanted to comment and tell you that I loved the thumbnail, and I was like, I don't want to watch another tanks versus tub video. This ain't what I want. And I was like, I can't leave a comment without watching it. And then I was like, man, I know how hard Jeremy works. I'm not just going to give his video like a 3-second watch time and drive it down in the algorithm. I was like, all right, I'm going to watch the video. But you made a great point in there about the clear tubs, of knowing what you're getting into when it comes to feeding night. The one thing I've liked about my clear locking tubs as well is when I do my checks, I can visually the pulling out and unlocking does take a lot of time, but looking straight in is even quicker than pulling out and pushing it back in, Yep. So I do like the idea of it. The flip side is the reality right here, right now. I'm not putting another penny in that room until I know where I stand as far as eggs and ovulations, or I can at least project better. I don't mind paying the money up front, but I don't have the evidence to suggest it just yet. Once I get some females that look like they're about to lay and that I'm confident they're on their way, maybe I'll look into it. But right now, I don't even want to check the price, because even if it's $20 a pop, I ain't buying $800 worth of tubs. It's just not happening. It's not in the cards.
In all honesty, I don't even know what they run a piece, because when I got my racks, it's an option, which tub do you want? So yeah. I just click. I know I can't even remember what it is extra compared to just the normal gray tubs.
Right.
But it is like a slight upcharge just to get I think they're polycarbonate.
Yeah.
Is what they're considered. But I mean, I bet you're probably looking at least $20 a tub, probably even more now with the price of everything's going up.
That's another $1,000, man. By the time it ships here, I mean, because those are heavy too. I mean, that 40 tubs, and then honestly, part of one of the sort of efficiencies that I really like is having extra tubs that are clean, ready to go. So I can pull them out, swap, put it in, and then I go wash separately versus pull out, wash, swap. So yeah, I mean that's $1,000. That's a lot of money, man. I mean, life's good and all that, but it ain't so good that I just throw around $1,000 like not. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree. I agree. I'm right there with you. Like, one of my goals was to add, like, this season depends on how far I go in advancing, put it that way. Because I told my wife, I was like, I'm not taking another dime if I can help it out of our personal money,
right,
to further everything. I want this all to build itself up.
Yeah.
So I told her, I gotta, because she asked me, she goes, when do you have to get another male carpet, or when do you have to get your male carpet? I looked at her, I was like, this year. She goes, "Oh, well, aren't you going to a show like in another couple weeks?" I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm not going to have eggs before that show."
Yeah.
So I mean, it's I can't buy. I'm basically on lockdown. I can't buy anything. I can't improve anything at the moment
Yep.
because I need to get a carpet male. That way, he's not completely dwarfed by Xena.
Yeah.
I wanted to get another female or two to add into the racks. And on top of it, I'd like to get an ultrasound. And I'm surely not going to be able to afford an ultrasound, just right out of pocket because we've had some massive bills go on and a whole bunch of other stuff go on here that it's just like, the snake's got to pay for itself at the moment.
That's right. That's right. And that's where I'm at. And like, this is less business than just personal philosophy. Like, I was figuring it out with PVC racks and locking hefty tubs that I bought at Lowe's. Like, I didn't download any spec sheet for that. I just figured it out and went for it, Yep. So I've clearly upgraded. I'm very happy with the upgrades I have. I'm cool to live in the moment and enjoy the moment and appreciate the moment. I'm way too guilty of many times in my life just looking forward rather than being really, really appreciative of where I'm at. And 2 years ago in April is when I first got back into ball python. So from where I was to now is just a quantum leap. I'm real happy with where I'm at. And I just want to see what this year brings and do my very best that I can to care for these animals and hopefully those females bring it this year,
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, I don't even know how to put it. Yeah, hopefully we both the girls go and they bless us. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Well, and what you're going to find too, Jeremy, that I'm already starting to see a little bit, and my mind is blown by it, is as your channel grows, you're going to find new opportunities for revenue and for business. And it's really started to like turn into, wait a minute, here's a real model. And I sound like I'm talking like I think I'm some, Kabilka or something. I don't. I have total transparency for your viewers. I have 1,200, not even 1,200 subscribers yet, but there's neat opportunity from the monetization is not huge money, but you start to build an audience that is built-in customer base. You start, frankly, there's some sponsorship discussions flying around out there right now. Like, it's just neat. Yeah, it's a neat stuff that I don't take for granted. It's not me strutting around. It's me going, holy cow, this is all the hard work coming back to show. And that's why I get excited when I see you hit different milestones where I'm like, all right, cool, here it comes, or I see a cool thumbnail and I'm like, all right, I'm going to watch this. And I ended up learning from it. I learned about those clear tubs from watching it, which I wouldn't have. So
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
And the time, like, I have to, like, I look up to you. Not only one, you got me being on your live is what got me doing this. I mean, it got me out of my comfort zone and got me to realize, hey, I can actually do this.
Right.
And it's not like a terrifying experience or anything like that. And I actually really enjoy it. So, but on top of that, seeing how your channel's grown, so it seems like you were steady. And then all of a sudden, it's just like you hit one point where it just like blew up.
I don't know what happened.
Crazy.
800 to 850. I was like, it slowed way down. I was like, I got to 800 and it just wouldn't. It sucked. It took me I was going on like a pace of I was averaging 3-ish subscribers a day, and it dropped down to like 1 or 1.5, and then I was losing them, and I was like, what is? And then, like you say, at like 850, it was just, from there, it was a rocket to where I'm at now. I mean, it was just right off on it. But
it definitely has me sitting back waiting and say, all right, when's mine gonna go? Just
keep doing the work, man. I promise you. And the other thing too is, in retrospect, it was the 1,000 monetization felt really good, and it felt like a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
But the world didn't change the next day, kind of thing. But to be honest, I don't feel like I did feel like I was chasing subscribers. I don't feel the pressure to get subscribers now.
Yeah.
So like, I've slowed down my video production a little bit, but I think the videos I'm producing now are better because I don't feel rushed. Like, got to put one out. I got to get it. I got to keep up my 3 average, like I'm over the monetization. It's there and I'm good,
Yeah.
Sorry, John has asked a couple times saying, asking if we made a world's first, would we keep it or would we sell it? So I have 2 theories, probably neither of which are all that popular. If you do the math of all the genes and of all the ball python genes, say there's 200 of them, and you went through and you did the mathematical possibilities of all the different combos that could theoretically ever be hit, it is like multiples of the number of humans that are on this planet, not to mention the number of humans that have ever lived on this planet. So it's actually not all that mathematically rare to hit a world's first.
Yeah.
Now, if I hit a $20,000 snake right here, right now, today, hell yeah, I'd sell that thing. It'd be gone. But I'll tell you why. Because 20 grand right now is blood money to me. And if I hit it this year, in my mind, I can do it again.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
I can put that 20 grand to use. And I might not make another 20 grand snake next year, but I might buy $4,000 snakes that will go make $3,000 snakes. And theirs just turned 20 grand, that world's first $20,000 snake into 60, not like a click of the finger, but in a year or two. So for me, it's about, what can I do with the money for my greater good? Now, if I truly fell in love with it, if I truly was a labor of love for 10 years I had been at it, I'm not in it. I've only been in it 2 years. There's nothing I've done that outweighs 20 grand right now. 20 grand, bring it. You can have my snake.
See, I'd have to keep it. And
yeah.
But see, here's where I'd have to weigh, like you said, if I knew I could produce it the next season.
No, not new. In my mind, I'm telling myself, I did it once.
Okay.
I could do it again.
See, I know my luck. See, I know my luck. My luck is terrible. So if I hit that $20,000 snake, chances are I'm never going to hit it again. So I got to keep that to increase my chances to hit it next time.
I would put that money into mature breeders that I could put to work immediately. Creative just said, so if you hit an ultramel clown pied male, you would sell it. Yes.
No, if it was an ultramel clown pied, yeah, I'd sell it. But then I don't really like all right. I probably just lost like 10 subs just by saying that. But I've only seen maybe 3 ultramels. Granted, I haven't really noticed them in person. Like when I go out to shows, I'm looking for like Exantic stuff and some clowns and desert ghost stuff. Like that's what's catching my eye at the moment. So next show I go to, I'm definitely gonna be looking at ultramel stuff just to see what the hype is.
Yeah,
but I've probably only ever seen 3 ultramels that really like. I was like, bam, I see what the hype is. So
and some of that. I'll use another restaurant example. I'm a wine guy. I can't stand White Zin. I have no desire to ever drink White Zinfandel. But everybody else every other woman on vacation seemed, or Moscato, or whatever the rosé of the day is.
Oh, my wife.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. So some of it, from a business standpoint, not from my heart, from a business standpoint, it doesn't matter if I get it. It doesn't matter. It does matter if I like it, because I want to be passionate about what I do and what I get up for in the morning. I'm not totally stoic. I'm not a robot. But if it'll pay some bills and I got the money in hand, cash in hand, hell yeah, I'm taking it. And again, I get what everybody's saying. Yeah, especially a male, you could get it to work right away next year. Maybe, but I could buy the mature ones that'll work right now and and still bet. I mean, if I could buy five $4,000 males right now, I would sell every other male that I had in my collection because it would be an upgrade to every one of them. So if I can improve my whole collection versus waiting on one thing to come through, I got to get to work. I could do stuff like money is like the tools. It's another.
That was a big one.
I got to get that clip. That's going to be the reel. It's just me jumping. Like money is like the weapons in your arsenal that you can put to work to do good things for you. Like my trophies are my guitars, man. And I'm sure I'll have a trophy. There'll be a snake that I see where I'm like, oh my God, like that Super Wrenchy clown. I'm like, no, she's staying with me. That one she's powerful and beautiful. I want her kind of deal. Maybe that would happen. But right now, 20 grand's a lot, man.
Creative said about, okay, clown VPIDG. Creative, if you make that TSK, it's going to stay then.
I get the feeling this might be one of these things in like a year and a half or 2 years, somebody plays back to me. They're like, yeah, you remember when you said this, Adam? For money. And I'm going to be like, I don't want to sell it, man.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. That I did not say that. We've got Mike from Herp Collector that came in. Thank you, Mike, for tuning in.
Hey, Mike.
All right, now here's a good question. Now, or at least I think it's a good one. Is there any other species of reptile, snake that what's that?
So that's a good self-compliment. You're like, hey, Jeremy, this is a good question, man. You did it, man.
Sorry.
I know, I love it. I'm just giving you a hard time, like guys at a bar, man. We're having a good time, man.
We are, dude. I love doing this. Like our community is so great. I feel like I get everybody that tunes in here and that I have on, like I just feel like we're family. I really do. It's such a great experience and feeling. But is there any other species, snake, reptile in general, that you would think about working with, or that you eventually, as time goes on and everything kind of builds up, that you want to get into?
Yeah. As a business to this scale, absolutely not. I can't imagine. I am borderline overwhelmed right now. Kai and I talk a lot about how you balance the workload with the load of your stock and your inventory that you have. So if I could trade a dishwasher, maybe I'd get, all right, we'll let that one go. I'm at a point right now where I have a new level of learning that I have to accomplish to properly handle my job. And then I play music too, a professional musician. So balance and dad and husband. So for me, no, from a pet standpoint, actually, we're looking to pick up some poison dart frogs for a little, a little BioCube, one of those. And then, man, I got real close. I almost, and I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of what will come with this comment. I almost bought a scaleless corn snake from the same gentleman. It's the coolest thing I ever seen, man. I mean, outside of ball pythons, of course. It was red with like circle spots down the back, and then I'll be damned, it had scales on its belly, and it never occurred to me I guess the super form doesn't have scales on the belly, and that they can't move very well and grip.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that was the single gene form, whatever it is. Anyway, we didn't have the right equipment to own a full size, and it was a hatchling or yearling corn snake. I almost made him an offer to include that in this bundle just from a pet standpoint, but I've got so much with these, I can't get distracted, and I gotta get this under my belt and get my rhythm on this. You know, it's fun to talk about the sink and the rack and the efficiency, but until I know what I'm doing 100% with it all, absolutely not. So I don't think so from a business standpoint. From a pet standpoint, yeah, we want to do the dart frogs, and then I don't know, man. That, like I say, that corn snake, I might have to look into one of those one day, just for a pet, not to breed, not for anything else. So those are cool.
Well, I know, like the one thing I was thinking of, like, because you're in a small, and like you're kind of, and your snake room's what, a 12 by.
I remeasured it because I was like, I had a moment of terror that rack wasn't going to fit. I was like, what have I, like, I was in like, okay, time to convert the whole garage mode. I guess my office is just going to be in the middle of a, you know,
in the snake room.
Yeah, an 82-degree snake room. It is 10 by 8 on the outside dimensions, and then I use 2x4s to frame it. So it's 10 by 8 minus 8 and minus 4. So it's I could get another hatchling rack in there, and if I move that, I think the hatchling racks actually could be outside of it because it's usually spring through fall when I have the hatchlings, you know. So I think they'd be fine. Yeah, but no, this is pretty much going to have to be what it is. So really maximizing what is each tub worth, and is the animal in it bringing that? How do I maximize that? It's going to be part of my angle I have to figure out.
Because the funny thing is, like, when I built this snake room, I think my snake room's 14 by 12, something like that. Close to 14 by 12. And originally, if you can see through Xena's cage here, there's the rest of the basement. And originally, that was supposed to be my man cave. Well, since I'm down here all the time, and I'm really never in the man cave that much, and with the carpet, you know, working with the carpets and everything, I'm rapidly realizing that I'm not going to have enough space. So I'm already planning ahead that this wall's going to go.
Yeah. Or at least the door. Yeah.
And the rest of this is going to become snake room as well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, I'm approaching that point rapidly where I'm realizing the carpets take up a decent amount of space, and I definitely don't want to get rid of them because they're gorgeous. And there's Xena, she's waiting on, like, I remember how I told you she was doing that last night.
Yeah, yeah, she is.
Yeah. She's doing it again. But
if I got to a legitimate quit my job point with and where snakes and music were paying the bills, which they are paying the bills, but not enough to quit my job kind of thing, then I would look into I would look into insulating and temperature controlling the whole garage. Because I already have the mini split, the room, and the mini split's in the garage. The snake room is inside the garage. And here in Florida, I just use the heat in the wintertime when it gets too cold. I never really have to cool down the snake room, but the mini split does it if I need to. Mainly more says, how many more snake racks can you fit in your office? So I converted my garage. In my garage is my music rehearsal space, my work office. I work remotely via this camera the whole time. My sink is right over there, and then my snake room is there. And then there's a little bit of space for a refrigerator and bikes and typical garage junk over there. So in the snake room, if I took this hatchling racks out, I could probably do like one of the ARS racks that's 2 wide and maybe 10 high, so another 20 maybe. At some point, I just got to say I need to see what I can do with what I'm doing. Now, this year comes along and I'm hitting, you know, I don't know what the number would be. I don't know. If I hit a certain number and was like, all right, I'm out of the day job, but I don't even think I would do that until I could do it 2 years in a row. Like one time, was it just dumb luck, or 2 times do I really know what I'm doing? Then I would figure out what to do with this whole garage. Then I would turn the whole garage into a facility.
I'm with you on that. Kai asks, speaking of other species, what dream species do you want to work with or want to keep/breed? So I'll let you answer that one.
You know, I don't know. This whole animal breeding thing is a pretty neat novelty to me. So like, I'm still in awe at the ball python. Like I'm still in awe at the, you know, just there's eggs and there are the snakes. There they came. Like, so even though I missed all my odds last year, I was like, this is amazing. I would love, like, just wave a magic wand kind of thing. I don't even have a yard I could do it in. I own the house here, but it's you know, HOA stuff and all that. I would love like a garden in the back with wooden teak walkways over koi ponds would be just phenomenal, and an orchid garden and all that stuff. That'd be phenomenal. But I don't know what I'm doing. I don't I mean, I don't have $100,000 to go like turning my backyard or how 50 or I don't know what it would cost. I don't have it. I also don't have the time. Like I'm happily tired all the time right now just because of work is going extremely well. I thought I'd be working less than I am, but work is good. The snakes are phenomenal. I just bought a dang collection. The gigs are, you know, I'm averaging a gig a week right now, and my music gigs are paying the mortgage right now. So like, it's all working, but it is work, man.
You're working though. You're working hard.
Yeah, but I go to bed happy at night. Nobody yelled at me because they've been on a 45-minute wait, or they think their steak was overcooked, or they don't like this, or you know, how come the governor says I have to wear a mask? I don't deal with that crap anymore. So I'm so happy right now, and I'm great. And I'm sorry to even bring that up on your show. I'm so happy.
It's good. I can just imagine it.
Yeah. Well, and here go the comments, and no, they're not yet, but I don't want them to either. So, yeah, I think I would do a big fish operation. I would love, or even. You know what else I would love is like a bookshelf of little bio cubes of like corals mixed with dart frogs, and then a little coral reef kind of deal, like corals only, and then a little, you know, clown, like little wildlife vignettes, I guess, would be just a really cool thing too. But all that takes time and money and knowledge, and I'll get there.
Well, Connie, for my answer, if that wall gets knocked down and this whole room becomes a snake room down here, I don't know if anybody remembers. I forget if it was on one of my lives, but I was talking about the green tree pythons. That would be like the dream thing to get back into. Would be those. I'd love to have a pair of like Sorong or I guess the Maniquari, something where it's got the brilliant blue stripe to it.
I was going to say some of those are some of the most just visually stunning animals. They're fantastic. They're beautiful.
Yep. Because I would say carpets, but I have those already.
Yeah.
So I have to one up it to the green trees. Just, I mean, they are just I had a Biak years and years ago, and at nighttime she was a witch. Like if you walked it, because I had all the snakes in my bedroom, and at the time I had this Biak, I had a blood python, I had a black blood, which is the I guess they just call it a Sumatran short tail. I had one of those. So I mean, three of the more known nippy, super defensive snakes, and that green tree. I mean, during the daytime, she was a sweetheart. You get her out, free hand her, no problem. But at night,
oh really?
Near that cage, she would strike at the glass. She'd try to rip your face.
Yeah,
like, you couldn't even get within like 5 feet. Like you legit had to like stay away from.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Herself.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see what my first feeding with those opaque tubs tonight's going to be like. I'm about to
video it.
Yeah, I got to figure out how to do it like in the dark. You know, maybe I'll just like. Actually, this camera does really, really well. It's got a. Steven can explain it better. It's got a really wide aperture, I think, that just brings in the best of dark lighting or poor lighting, you know? So, but yeah, I'm about to turn on because I warm up the rats in the room with them. So they smell them going. So, yeah, I agree with mainly there. I see a lot of wall space and you got a lot of square footage, man.
See, I mean, there's a lot of room to go vertically.
Yeah.
Well, you figure. Like over there, I have room for like another hatchling rack there.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the incubator's there. This little section here, I could put like a 50-20 rack, like a 2 wide 50-20.
Right.
But then right here, that's where all the room I have for the carpets. Now, eventually they're going to be on PVC in like PVC enclosures, but I mean, they're going to be at a bare minimum 4x2x2s.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they're going to take up space, and
You got to
then you
enjoy
figure
what
all
you're
their
working with.
hatchlings.
Yeah, you got to enjoy your own place too. You got to, it can't just be anyway. But
yeah.
For reference, at the beginning of tonight, my camera was set up outside of my snake room, filming through the door. So if it looked like there was a lot of space, that depth was because
it looked like your room was a lot bigger.
No, it's like I say, it's 10x8 on the outside, so the inside is even a little bit smaller. But it's efficient, and I don't know, this is super nerdy stuff, but I really, in kitchen layouts, I always studied how many physical steps a cook had to take to execute a dish, and the fewer the better. You have a limited number of calories in your day, and the more the further you can stretch those and the faster you can get stuff done, the more you can get done, and hopefully the better work you can do. So it's the same thing with that. So like where the camera was butted right up against the sink. So I step out of the snake room, the sink's right there. Yeah.
See, now that's efficient though. That is super efficient.
Right. I try to make it there. I'm always trying to improve it though too.
Yeah. All right. Now here's another good topic. Social media. What do you consider the best platforms, the worst platforms, and how have you worked those platforms to your advantage?
All right. So the only one that I can claim I've even started to figure out or kind of become fluent to understand things in is YouTube. I like YouTube. YouTube fits my style, maybe from luck. I'm not good at quick, short answers. So YouTube fits that. YouTube is like the conversational interactions. Instagram, I find incredibly healthy. I don't know how helpful it is to me yet. I dedicate a lot of effort to Instagram. I post daily, if not twice a day. I don't think I've quite figured out the vibe for it to connect. TikTok, I worked hard at for a little while, and you talk about not having the vibe. Like, I got to revisit that. I didn't have, fact of the matter, I didn't have time in my life to apply to getting really good at TikTok. Good things were happening on YouTube, and I was busy. Like, at the end of the day, it's about selling snakes for me and breeding snakes. So all the other stuff is to funnel people to that. And it's not just totally transactional. It doesn't mean I don't appreciate you if you're not going to buy a snake from me. That's not it at all. But me gaining the knowledge, the community, the camaraderie, the fulfillment, that all helps me work and sell snakes. So YouTube is the one for me. I find Instagram healthy. I find it encouraging. I find the community very strong there. But like I said, I haven't totally figured out the vibe for it yet. Facebook is where I was the most comfortable, like knowing the platform. I've been on Facebook the longest. I kind of know the ropes. I don't find Facebook healthy. I don't know what it is. It breeds an ugly side, and I don't know why.
Keyboard warriors.
yeah, big time. And I don't know, like, people could be keyboard warriors here on YouTube. I mean, in the comments, I don't know what breeds it and encourages it, So I have Facebook, I have Instagram, I have TikTok, and I have YouTube. YouTube gets 90% of my, not 90, I don't know what. YouTube gets first dibs, then Instagram, then Facebook, and I honestly haven't been on TikTok in 6 months. So I'll probably circle back at some point. And I actually like, I've always thought it was a little bit of a hidden gem. I really like the forum on Morph Market. I think I used to study that forum on Morph Market just religiously. I think there's some really, really great knowledge there.
I actually forgot Morph Market even had a forum. That's right, they do.
Yeah, I'm not as active there as I should be or could be. I don't know about should be. because there's expert, like I don't claim expertise. There are experts there.
Yeah.
I can share what I've learned. I can share what I've done, and I love doing that. So I read and pay attention there, but as far as contributing, I don't as much. But that forum there is really great there as well.
So I forgot all about that. I agree with your listing too. Like for me, YouTube by far number one, Instagram number two, Facebook's got to be number three because I don't do anything else. But Facebook is basically like the only thing I use Facebook for anymore is every once in a while I'll hop onto like a couple pages and see if there's anybody that could use some help. Like if they have questions or whatever, I try to chime in if I think I can help them. Post up, hey, new video drop today, or for the lives, live coming up today. But other than that, I really don't give much attention to Facebook at all. It's all here and Instagram.
Yeah,
and I'm still learning Instagram. If anybody couldn't tell, or maybe I'm sure a lot of people saw the reel I posted last night of Xena doing what she's doing again, just staring up at the thing there, waiting for the food.
Look at her. She means business. Yeah.
But I don't even know if that was like the proper way to do a reel, but it seemed like it was the right way to do it. I don't know. Instagram there's so many, like the reels, the stories. I don't know when to do what with each.
Yeah, and I
have to understand the stories thing. I have posting pictures down, Pat. It's just the rest of it I really don't understand yet.
Right. I do make a point of not getting comfortable. So like TikTok, I went away from it. I'm going to force myself to go back to it. Where they get like 3 billion clicks a day. And I mean, that's an actual stat. Like it's an incredible stat. Blue Ridge Pythons brings up Discord servers. I'm not on that. That's another one. Tons of people ask me. I know tons of people use it. I'm going to have to figure out, because the last thing that I ever want to do in life in any kind of business is get stagnant and go, become one of these, these kids don't know what they're doing. No, these kids are going to tell me what the future is. There's a company I was doing work with that debated me on whether they should divert their money from pamphlets and billboards to a social media attack of YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok for a lifestyle destination resort. And I was like, I can't believe in 2022 we're having this conversation that you think a billboard on the interstate is going to be like. And I don't want to be that guy. Like if I don't go figure out TikTok or Discord, or in 6 months, whenever my son comes home telling me about he was lip syncing on, I'm making up stuff right now.
Yeah.
Like, the thing is, that 9-year-old in 5 years is going to want a ball python, or his friends are going to want ball pythons for Christmas. And some of them, when they turn 20, are going to go, college ain't for me. I want to do YouTube and breed ball python or whatever it is, and it's very clearly our future. I don't know what platforms will come and go. MySpace came and went. Many others have come and gone. I'm a little scared to have all my eggs in YouTube's bucket. Yeah, they're owned by Google. I don't really think YouTube's going anywhere. But what if YouTube changed the rules tomorrow morning and said, Adam and Jeremy, you only get to put up one video every 3 months. We put you in this class down here. What would happen to our, that bothers me. So I got to get my own website up and running. I got to, just like I rolled with getting new morphs and new genes in, I gotta be able to roll and learn, be willing to learn something new that's uncomfortable. So I'll be back at TikTok. I'll be at Discord. I'll figure out. I'm about to return to Reels on Instagram. I could not figure out Reels for the life of me. I worked hard at them. I got to go back. There's just too much exposure to be had that I'm missing out on.
That's the Instagram to me is like mind blowing. Like I never thought I'd be on Instagram at all. Just I'm not a very tech savvy person, but I never thought I'd be on here either. But here we
Right.
are.
Well,
But
and
I mean, it's like I'm
yeah.
constantly learning. Maybe once I get the hang of Instagram, maybe I'll add in like a TikTok. But until I get to that point, I'm gonna stick with just my main three here.
For
And
my
to get
2 cents, I really and I know this guy's a little guru-ish, and I could sound like just a fanboy, but check out some of Gary V's videos. Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V is, if you just Google Gary V, he's the first person to come up. But
okay,
he really put into perspective. I'm reading one of his books right now. I dropped the money on a book, which I like reading. It slows me down and makes me focus. But he really brought to mind of saying, people thought the internet was just going to be something to chat on, or people thought cell phones were too clunky when they were, the little suitcase phones that you had to carry around. And now here we are. So anyhow, we've left the ball python realm. We can go back to that. And hey, I got 10 good minutes left in me.
all right.
I gotta go. But
No, I understand, Adam. I completely understand. I have worked more
definitely
mornings.
check out some of Gary V, and I found him really inspirational to be like, so what if I look like an idiot on TikTok? Have you seen TikTok? That's where idiots hang out and do well. Like, go be one. And I mean it in a loving way.
Go join them.
Yeah, go join them. Go lip sync and do some dance, or and because the fact is, you can alienate yourself from everybody, or at least, but at worst case, put yourself to them and let them alienate you. But if you don't put yourself in the game, the answer is always no.
That's true. All right. Well, since we only got a couple minutes here, what are some genes that are on your radar that you want to add in the future?
Man, right now I got to tell you, I'm so overwhelmed with genes and snakes and I'm just in like synapse overload. I don't mean to be dramatic about it. Plenty of people have a lot more snakes than I do, even at 50. But that's a lot of snakes for me. So I like, I'm a little enamored with Sunset. I'm waiting to see. It's a little early for me. Well, price wise, it's way too early. I cannot. There's no way I can get in on Sunset right now. It's a little early for me. It's just a lot of jack to put into one gene. Recessives wise, I got the Ultramel and Genetic Stripe pickups, so that's really cool. I'm kind of fulfilled right now on that. I know Desert Ghost is the darling right now. I know it's sacrilege. They're great. They are amazing in person. They are electric. I haven't found what I would pair them with that would just set me off, like the double recessive Desert Ghost gene. So I don't know. What's that? Yeah, there you go.
Desert Ghost Exantic.
Yeah. So I might. I will give you a firm answer. I have one Candy female. I need more. I love Candy. I know it's a quiet gene right now. Not, mostly a lot of people overlooking it. And I think it's just so clean and the colors are just so vibrant and beautiful. I probably need to find a way to pick up another female and certainly a stud male in the next year, because my girl will be up to size by winter time. So that's probably going to need to be something that comes my way. I guess I could go for double hets out of the gate and then breed back one of the male double hets back to her. That could work too. But I own Candy, but to answer your question, I would
add more Candy.
Further my Candy is really probably the most likely. I don't give me 2 weeks. I'll get over this feeling overwhelmed and I'll have something new on my radar. But right now I'm feeling really fulfilled and just, protecting that Candy project and making sure that doesn't go by the wayside, because it's something I really want to see come to light. I love it. I think it's gorgeous. Chris says it has a lot of potential. I agree completely with him.
All right, now that you've got a whole bunch of added mouths and everything, how's your record keeping going to be? Are you going to change how you do it? Because you do it on like note cards or not on note cards, but on like a spreadsheet thing, don't you?
I do. Again, if you've ever worked in a restaurant, if you've ever done inventory in a restaurant, it's like that. If you've ever gotten a prep sheet when you walk in at the beginning of the day, it's like that. So my feeding sheet, I have every animal on the left-hand side, and then heading to the right is the date, rodent, yes or no. And that's every week. I use it to basically like make a prep sheet. Like I look at who I'm going to feed, and those are the frozen thaweds that I pull. Okay. So those will get actually funny you say it. I need to get off it. So here's my schedule the rest of the night. At 10 o'clock, we'll wrap up. I'm going to turn on the rats to heat. While the rats are heating, I'm updating the spreadsheet with the inventory lists that I have. And then by the time I feed them, I'll check off who ate what tonight. Yeah. And tonight, I'm only feeding breeder size females tonight. So only medium rats are tonight. Tomorrow night will be smalls and pups. So tonight's a little bit of a scramble to get everything on the sheet. Tomorrow night, be ready to go. So that's tonight. And then I've got to update my breeding sheet. I do the same thing. Breeding females on the left, priority males to pair them with, then date, pair, lock, yes, no, and keep track of it that way.
Okay. See, I'm still doing good old note cards.
Well,
just index cards and just a bunch of writing.
I'll tell everybody there's nothing proprietary. I'm happy to sell it. I'm not sell it. I'm happy to give it. I'm happy to give that away. Shoot me an email. It's properroyals@gmail.com. I'm happy to share that stuff. And if you're not comfortable with Excel, I could show you around how to get just a little bit more.
Inquiline asked, I'd be interested in at least seeing it.
Yeah, I'm happy to share it. Inquiline asked, would I get into cryptic and krypton? That great big 3,000 gram female that I have is het cryptic, and she was bred to a male clown. So I'm looking for 50% visual kryptons this season from that girl, and she's big enough to give me 8-10 plus eggs. Those are all big ifs. I don't even know if she's the one. I don't even know if I'm not sure if she's ovulated or not, but that is, I am in the cryptic krypton project. I'm extremely excited about that.
So that's one I'd like to get into at some point, but right now I just want to build up my main three recesses that I have right now: the clown, the Xanthic, and the desert ghost.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm a little concerned. I'm a little too spread out on my recessives, but I can always consolidate and streamline if I have to,
Oh yeah. All right. Since we only got a couple minutes here, the big one, do you have any tips for new people coming into the hobby as far as breeding, social media, like YouTube, anything like that?
The best I could say is just start. You're going to learn by doing. Be willing to learn. Remember, you're dealing with a live animal. You can't just go recklessly going, well, I'll just start and learn and end up with a bunch of dead animals. That's not okay. Proceed with care and caution and learn on the way, and you'll do great. If you want to do social media, don't feel like you have to be an expert. Don't feel like you're an imposter if you're not an expert. Just be honest. Just be yourself. Look at this killer tribe that, like, I'm on your show and I happen to know most of the people in the audience because they're 60% of them are the audience for my show. And you will find your tribe if you're honest. If you're BSing everybody it's like, don't be the human version of clickbait. Don't lie about what you are because you can't deliver. You might deliver a show or two, but you can't deliver.
Eventually they see through it.
Yeah, And then what do you have to show for it? You got people that don't trust you and that, you're stuck feeling lonely and left out and all of that. So not that you have to fit in or be part of something. I don't mean it that way, but that would be my advice. Like, if you're passionate about it, you're willing to put in the work, because it is work.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. Go do the work. If you're willing to know that wherever your snakes are is going to smell different. You're going to figure out how to make it smell okay, but it's going to smell different. You're going to clean poo many times a day. And you're going to put crazy work into your videos. You're going to figure out how to make Mortal Kombat thumbnails and you're going to lose sleep over it because you didn't get over the hump of your subscriber count today that you wanted to. You're going to do all that. And
Yep.
But there's rewards. It is rewarding. It's fulfilling. If it doesn't fulfill you, don't do it. But it's been very fulfilling to me, and it came at the right time in my life. I needed something to passionately care about other than work, because the world was a really rough place for me. And I know it was for a lot of people. I know I'm not the only one. For me, it was a rough place, and this is I'm incredibly happy. I'm generally a pretty happy dude, but I'm happy right now, man. I'm walking on sunshine with life. And like I say, I'm exhausted, but I'm excited, man.
That sounds like great advice, Adam. Great advice.
Thank you. Well, if I can ever be of help to you, to anybody, but I mean that, get in touch with me. One-on-one consultation. I probably can't just dole that out, but if it's a show, if it's a topic, if it's something we can all discuss openly, I'm always happy to help. Definitely share those spreadsheets with you. Jeremy, you're killing it, man. Keep doing it. I'm so happy for you, man.
Thank you so much, Adam. And like a lot of it I owe to you too. I mean, you kind of gave me that kick that I kind of needed to say, hey, you can do this. And just being on your live got me to where I'm at right now doing this.
That's flattering, and I'm happy to know it. It's even more fulfilling. It's an unintended consequence. I thought I would do this to make little marketing videos for ball pythons, and here we are, building friendships and relationships, and you're starting down a different path and all of that. I could do a whole show just on that. So I'm thankful. I'm grateful. Jeremy, thanks for having me on your platform, man. Thank you.
Right. Thank you for tuning in. Why do I keep saying it? Thank you for coming on. It's one of those long days. But thank you for tuning in, everybody. I greatly appreciate all the support. Make sure you guys check Adam's live out at it's 8:00 on Tuesday, correct? 8.
You got it.
Yep, 8:00 Tuesday, Eastern Standard Time. Check it out because Adam's live is amazing. I've been on it. He's had a lot of awesome people on it, and I just can't say enough good things about it. So we're going to call it a night, everybody. Thanks for being here. Adam, thank you for coming on. If you can just hang on 1 second after we end it here. And we'll catch you next time, everybody. Don't forget, Wednesday I'll be dropping a new video. I still have to pick which one I did. I actually went on a filming spree this weekend, and I got 3 videos done, fully edited, sitting in the folder to just release whenever. So it kind of eased my pressure down a little bit.
I've never been that far ahead. That's killer.
But thanks again, everybody. We'll catch you next time. Later.